Good evening, everybody. How are you? Hope you are well. Welcome to tonight's podcast. We are going to be talking about DOMs and subs dynamics. This is going to be part one because we're not going to go into detail, but we will break them down eventually at some point in our class or sessions, whatever the fuck we are now calling this. But hello, everyone. Hello, Shay. Welcome on in.
Shay, love you from England.
He's kissing ass.
Hey.
Which is kind of. But so yeah, we're just gonna kind of go in and see.
What are you doing? Sorry, I'm adjusting things and it was being weird.
Oh. I need to turn the music back down a little bit. There we go. Alright, so we are going to talk about basic dynamics, the most common ones. We're not saying that they're all right. We're not saying they're all wrong. We are not going to cast judgment or like kink shame or anything. But I figured since the Dom and sub is the most common dynamic when it comes to BDSM, it'll be a good place to start after being like generally talking about everything last week. So before we go into it, how are you guys feeling? How are you going? Like, how are you guys generally doing or whatever tonight?
I'm cozy.
Well, clearly you're in bed. So I would hope you were cozy. Otherwise, I would say change beds.
I'm going to second bed.
Lily, how are you doing, darling?
I'm good. Mouse is freaking out a bit, but I'm good.
Angel, how are you doing tonight?
I'm just trying to get shit straight.
You want to nap?
What the fuck are you doing?
Not me.
Nah, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly. As I get kicked. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everything is going well for you. And I hope you're having a nice, chill, relaxing time as class is about to start. So make sure you have a comfy seat. Make sure that you have lots of drink and snackies. So without further ado, we're just going to hop on in. So generically, like we talked last week, what is Dom and sub? Just basic conversations, right? There are several definitions, but basically Dom is usually the one in control of the situation. And then this sub is the one allowing that control to happen over them, if that makes sense. So with that, okay, so there are different types. Okay, there's different, we want to put it, rules, types and rules that follow within
Subgroups and so forth.
But basically for the Dom sub, usually a lot of people say it's exchange of power. I don't really like using power. To me, it's not about power. It's more about a give and take, with the understanding that the sub is choosing to trust and allow the Dom to make decisions on their behalf in their best interest, taking their thoughts and feelings into it, whether it be like previous conversations before the dynamic started or during, as well as Dom's not really taking control, but having that control, that leadership, so to speak, in the relationship. And oftentimes you will see Dom and sub relationships written like I did up top, where it is the D/S. But the roles of the Dom, it is to hold and exercise the control that the sub gives consensually. It can be like the Dom is assertive. It could be strict. It could be complete control. To me, it's more of a guide you're promising to protect your sub, guide them, enforce the rules, and decide certain things depending again on each dynamic and the rules set therein. As well as the sub, it's to be relinquished of that control, to surrender and submit to the direction or guidance of the dominant or the dom. There is, I don't know about anybody else, well, at least like me specifically, I'm a switch. And you're probably wondering, okay, what does that mean? Hold on, you're throwing more words out there. A switch is just somebody who flips between the two, or usually a switch is between any one or two different variants therein. 90% of people are switches, whether it is like some people who are dom outside of the bedroom, the spouse or partner, whichever have you, is the sub, again, outside of the bedroom. And even in the room, like in the bedroom, it switches. The dom becomes the sub becomes the dom. Any type of switch like that, even to the smallest degree, is still considered a switch. It may not be primarily a switch, but is still a switch. So with the sub, it just means you surrender, you give up control of the different scene, if it's just during like certain play, or it means more 24/7. It depends on the rules, it depends on the situation, it depends on the partners in, I guess, that dynamic. Like for you guys, when you hear the word dom, what comes into your brain? Like what comes to mind instantly?
Well, first, let me know you want me to do.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Go.
Okay, I'll answer. My first thought is, actually, honestly, I have two thoughts. There's someone who's sexually dominant, which can mean a lot of things. And then there's also the more nurturer caregiver role.
Okay.
So, like, sexually dominant can obviously mean more aggressive, but it can also just mean taking control, which can have a lot of meaning. It can mean more just leading expectations. It can mean more just leading what's done and how it's done, but obviously it can mean more aggressive play. And in the nurturing angle, again, that obviously different ways, but it's, in my head, it leads more towards comfort and what's needed at what given time.
I mean, that's sound, because that's pretty close to what I think of when I hear dom. Jack?
Well, for me, I'm really like new to this whole situation, so from what I knew, when it comes to people being dumb, I thought it was more people who like just basically just like who have like a more of a dominating dominative attitude, where like they're just like more like they know what they want to do, they're gonna tell you what they want to do, and they didn't really give two shits on what the hell you thought. That's why I thought like just more of a dominant personality of like I'm gonna do this, I don't give two downs what the hell you say, like that kind of thing. Like I said, I'm kind of like new to all this, so.
Which is fine. And actually, you're not wrong either, because of the fact of what you actually described is more of a master-slave, which we will cover here in a little bit. But it's actually more of a master, which is a form of dom. It is a part of the dynamic. It is where the dom says, I want. The sub goes, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, if it's a master or mistress, whichever the term would apply. Again, usually terms like addressing the individual is already discussed either within the
Yeah.
rules or when the dynamic starts. So you're not wrong either. Like I said
No.
in that we put in the disclaimer, there is no right or wrong way for this because everybody
Yeah.
is so unique that there is no one size fits all.
Yeah.
So babe, your turn. When you hear the word dom or think about dom, what does that mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah, when you hear either somebody say, well, I'm dom, what's immediate thoughts that pop in your head?
If they say they're dom like that, I really don't see that as them being dom. Because someone who is truly dominant is not going to, like, what's the word?
Flaunt it?
Yeah, they're not gonna sit there and flaunt it. It's gonna be something more secret that you won't find out unless you need to find out, kind of thing.
I mean, that's fair too. Now, same question essentially. What about sub? What's something that you think about when you hear the word sub?
For me, it's more like at the opposite side, like the submissive, where like where they seem timid, where they seem more like just to themselves and more, where they're more like kind of like a wallflower kind of situation, where it's like.
Seen and
where
not
there's some-
heard.
Yeah, like they're just in the
Okay.
background and they don't want to be like known or heard or whatever. Like they're kind of like submissive and just like don't talk to us. I'm fine. Just leave me alone, kind of thing.
Again, that's more master slave, which is again perfectly fine. We will cover that here in a little bit. Lily, what about you?
Again, a few things come to mind, but the first thing that comes to mind is about releasing control, that perhaps in another area of life you have too much control.
Yeah.
And as well as there being obviously some forms like in little situations where sometimes you need a gentle hand or you need to be taken care of. And then obviously there are things like being a service sub, which is an entirely different situation. But sometimes you're, pardon the expression, but sort of playing the role as like a 50s housewife.
Yeah, like a Stepford wife, so to speak.
Yeah, sort of performance, doing those activities, kind of stepping into that kind of role play. But like in my head, it's kind of a form of escapism.
I actually like the fact that you said that. And I'll explain why here in a minute. Babe, what about you? For sub.
Roughly about what Billy said is someone who's willing and trusting enough to give up that control.
Okay. No, so I'm not excluding. You guys think, oh, I'm more of the.
I was gonna say,
Head honcho.
you didn't give your
Okay.
answers.
So
There's a reason I nicknamed you the Dumb Father.
that's fair.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So like for me, specifically, let me do it this way. May I give permission, or get permission to share a little bit more about us?
Might as well at this point.
Still nice to ask for consent.
Yes, and I appreciate it.
So between Angel and I am the more dom. I'm the one in control 90% of the time. And I do say 90% because there is those 10%, the times where I am more sub. I am, in that sense, a switch. I'm not a true switch like a 50-50 switch. It is more of like a 10-90 where I'm primarily one and I do switch to the other. Where Angel then is my flip side of that. If I am dom, she is the sub. I am sub, she is the dom. And before anybody starts going, well, do you have? Yes, I have, I don't know how many different pages of rules that I do have to follow both as a dom and as a sub, ones that I take very seriously. But for me, a dom is actually one who really, in all authenticness, is the one who takes the situation, makes the best decision for not one but both parties, and moves forward with that. And then on the flip side, the sub, the only way I can explain it is really like what you were saying, Lily, like an escapism, is a way to relinquish that control because life is stressful. And a lot of times I do have to make so many decisions, whether it be like about the server, about streams, about how to word something. There is so much stress in everyday life that it is so nice just to go kind of like on a silver platter, present it to Angel and go, your turn. It's your turn to make all the decisions. I will lead by what you say because I'm trusting you to lead and put not what's only best for you, but best for me as well. Whatever decision is needed, whether it be what to eat for dinner, to how to do different situations, different plays, dynamics, whatever have you. But to me, it's kind of a combination of what you said. It is not just a relinquishing control. It's also a nurturing thing as well, because there is that level of comfort and nurturing that a dom will give a sub no matter the dynamic. At least in my opinion, because you seek that, whether it be a firm hand, a nurturing, like, parental kind of guide for, like, little caregivers. It's a way to let go and just know you're in good hands, because it is, to me, all about the level of trust and vulnerability within the partners or the dynamic. Not gonna lie, I do love being a good sub when life is getting way too hard. It is nice to be like, hands up, I'm done, and know that Angel's got me with my best interests and thoughts. And there's times where she does ask for my permission, there's times where she doesn't. She's like, we are doing this because we live the lifestyle 24/7. It doesn't just pertain to the bedroom. Where she goes, we're going to the store, and I'm like, no. And she goes, we're going to the store. And I go, I don't feel like it. And she goes, we're going. And it's like, well, and then she gives me that look. It's her unique look of, especially when she's in that dom role, of you got 3 seconds to get your ass up, do what you gotta do, and be ready to go. It's that look. Like, do that again. That look. That one. That one.
Are you talking about my, like, beginning mom look?
It's that motherly, what did you just say to me? Being a sub feels so cozy, right? See, Shay gets me. It's really one of those, it is more of a comfort to know no matter what happens, you're covered. You got this kind of thing, right? But again, that comes with a level of trust. So with the different types, okay, we just threw a bunch of different terms out there. We're gonna cover them. We're gonna read them, and then we'll break them down. Okay. So for the different types, the more, I want to say not most common, but the more typically talked about. Will that be a bit more accurate, Lily?
Yeah, most common, let's say, in the media or talked about online.
I agree.
Would be a good way to describe.
So what we have for the different types, we kind of jot them down, and we also have some sites up to also quote, and because there's some, I'll be honest, I don't know much about. I know about them enough to go, yeah, this is a thing. but because it don't pertain to me, I didn't really study or look into them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's the Dom Sub Lovers. There's the Master Servant or Master Slave. There's the Dom Sub Bondage. There's the Training Relationships. Key Holders. There's Caregiver / Little. 24/7. And coincidentally, it has its own, according to this particular site that I will be sorting, is female-led relationships, or FLR.
Which, in my mind, could be any of the other ones it mentioned, just, with female dom.
That's where I'm kind of like, I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, it makes sense because there are, but I didn't know it was its own category.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not sure it is. It might just be this site putting it into its own
context.
Yeah, or the
Surprised me.
author of the article seeing it as something different. So I'm not 100% on that one.
I'm not sure, but we'll cover both, because to me, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're male, female. It doesn't matter if you're trans, gay. Fill in the
Yeah.
blank, as long
Yeah,
as the
Gay, straight,
relationship
poly,
or the
whatever.
yeah, exactly. If there's still the dynamics in play where the roles they're in are still there and visible, to me, it doesn't matter. So objectively, it doesn't matter if we're saying dom as in by definition instead of dominatrix, where
Yeah.
the female term they're in, we're still applying both. And if we do know the female specific terms, we will throw them in there.
Yeah.
But what does it mean to be in, let's say, a dom sub relationship, right? They come in many different shapes and sizes. Again, there is no
Yeah.
right or wrong way. They could be long term, it could be exclusive, it could be even just romantic, like
Yeah.
all about just one specific area, and then you guys are friends afterwards. It could be just friends who fill that need, and again, it doesn't even have to be romantic. It doesn't have to include sex at all, guys.
Yeah. Like, you can
At
be
all.
asexual and be into BDSM and just want that dynamic in your life and have no sex involved in it.
And then you can have like kind of like the friends with benefits. It could be like a kink friend with benefits, I guess.
Yeah.
Or it could be like a one-time thing. Like you go to an event,
One night stand.
it happened. Well, sort of. But like at events, there's BDSM umbrella term, BDSM events that cover different play, different things, and you can go have fun there, go home, work your 9 to 5, and be your normal everyday life.
Yeah.
So, again, there's no one size fits all. Hell, personally, I fit like 3 of these things. But that's just me. So it's like a pick and choose, mix and match. Whatever
I
applies
still
to you.
don't know where the hell I fit in, because I'm a baby when it comes to all this.
But you're such a cute baby.
Shut up.
Is it okay,
I-
Jack? Jack, do I have permission to speak a little bit?
Go for
Openly?
it. I've got no
Okay.
problems with it.
I think originally you were under the assumption that you had to act like your preconceived notion of what a dominant was.
Like,
But I
you
think
have to-
I think naturally you fit more into other roles.
Probably.
See, honestly,
'Cause
to me,
I do
you're
have,
more of a
like-
gentle dom or a daddy dom.
And I think that's what you are more naturally. But I think your preconceived notion of what a dom has to be has
Because-
what's been messing with your head.
Well, it's because I've had a role model of Ash, and I've seen the way Ash has been with Angel.
Yeah,
And
Okay.
I've just been like, well, if that's what it is, then maybe that's what I needed. And then the things that I've done with the person I've done it with.
you can talk about it with me.
um, I don't want to say just in case, but when I've done it with Lily, like Lily's not been like, no, that's wrong, or no, you're not like that. Like Lily's like
Yeah,
that's
but I've
it's not.
also noticed when things rubbed you the wrong way and said you don't have to do that.
I know, but it makes you look to it makes you so happy that I'm like, then
And I
one,
will
like,
say, I think you've gotten the wrong impression of some of the things with Ash because what you've noticed is when the Brat Tamer comes out of Ash.
Yeah, we will talk about
I'm not a
that.
brat.
Ooh, we are streaming. Okay.
And you interpret it more aggressively than it actually is when a lot of
more.
time it's more playful.
Yeah. We'll
I'm
we'll
just like,
cover because that is a good topic. Thank you for reminding me that. We're gonna throw in Brat Tamer because that's still technically part of the
That
Dom and
is-
sub
That is.
roleplay dynamics, and we will cover that because I've got that in
Mm.
spades of knowledge.
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm still like new to this, and
Mhm.
when I heard that Lily wanted me to be like a dom, I was just like,
You got them.
I didn't know if I wanted to be because I'm not a dom kind of person. Like, when the first time I ever did a BDSM test, I was
I know.
like, I ended up being like a vanilla bean, and I was just like, one of my friends literally laughed so hard, and I was like, why is that so funny?
It's just so
Like,
cute.
I know, but like they were asking us questions, like of questions I didn't understand at the time, and I was just like, "Why the fuck would I want to say these to people? That's like so rude." But now I say shit to Lily that I'm like, back then I would be like, "The fuck is that? The hell?" Like, have I got permission to say like,
Yes,
at
yes.
least
Yeah.
like from like back in the day, I would have been like, "Well, why would I want to say these like?" I want to be nice to the woman I want to be with. Like, I want to like treat her with kindness. This, that, and the other. But now, like, when me and Lily are getting a certain moment, like, the literal two words that come out of my mind are like bitch and slut. Like, it's like I would never even considered those words ever out of my mouth.
And I'm gonna still say this, and oh, you naive little boy. And I say that with love because if you think that's bad, you should hear some of the things that I tell Angel.
I know, it's like, I have a hard
And
time
even
with-
we are tame compared to others. Like some of the role plays that I've experienced and seen other couples or dynamics play out, I looked at them and I was like,
yeah.
and the chick just ate it up, and I'm like,
I'm just an apple. Like,
and I swear my eyes were like this fucking huge.
Yeah.
I know, but like, it's just
There's a lot
I
of
don't-
things that are way too far for me, and then there's like, you know, and that's why I think he falls more under the caregiver, gentle dom, or daddy dom, and your preconceived notion is more of the stereotype.
It's just like I just don't like the idea of hurting people's feelings. It's like I like to be nice to people, and like even hearing the fact, even like knowing that I say that, it kind of like stuns me. It's like I don't like calling Lily that because she's not any of them. Like she's like a wonderful woman, and it's like I just hate saying it, and it really turns me off.
Yeah, see, that's where, and we can do even a little segment about this, especially with the dynamics and stuff, about before, during, and after care.
Yeah.
Because the way I see, now this is just me, in my opinion, chat, when I see dynamics or the different plays, like, what it be, impact play, rope play, puppy play, horse play, or pony play, you know, when it comes to all these different things, which we will cover, more topics to be seen, kind of thing. Even during play, it's best not to break that character. Like, you're in a theater, you're on stage, you don't break, right? But there's still a way to ask and make sure and check in. So, like, with me being Dom and Angel being the sub, there's quite a few times where I'll be like, are you okay? Or even non-verbally, where I give her a certain glance and She'll give me a quick little nod or whatever, making sure that she's still okay. I'm not hurting her. I'm not doing anything that's crossing lines. Or I will stop what I'm doing for like a couple of seconds where she uses her codes or her safe words. Let me know, nope, she's still good. She's still with me. We're on the same page and we're still moving and grooving the same way. And not talking anything dirty, but like during those play,
Yeah.
it's best to stay on that same page before you guys split or get pages turned and end up in the wrong chapter and it doesn't feel right. So to dive deeper into some of these, like what is the dom sub lovers? What's the difference between, say, that and the bondage? So with the lovers, there's no whips, there's no chains, but there might be a lot of toys. Okay, whether it be vibrators, dildos, strap-ons, etc., etc., etc. We'll cover toys and in a podcast somewhere down the line. They have, I'm just gonna call it what it is, chat, right? No filters, especially of tonight's streams, right? They just have sex, most people do, but in this way, some may find it more exciting to be told to perform a certain way or do certain things, to, like, whether it be getting off performing certain services for the dom, whether it be doing the dishes in a certain outfit, whether it be having to do a dance, whether it be a lap dance, sexy dance, or just, sit in their dom's lap. And before anybody comes at me for this one, tell me and give me examples of people that counter this. Okay, like if you're gonna come at me and say, no, that's not right, give me names, because I will counter that. Every single gamer I know would love their partner to curl up in their lap while they are gaming and just sit there while they could be doing something completely different. Like they could be playing on their phone, with the games on their phone, watching TikToks, do whatever the fuck they want, but being curled up in their arm and just snuggling while the one gamer is gaming.
Guilty.
Guilty. Come on. You like it when I curl up with you. Now.
Lily, you
Like
even
when you
told
were
me
playing the
were
game in the
watching it
bedroom and I
after
curled up
your
in your lap. Did you not enjoy that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so put up your motherfucking hand. There we go.
Oh my God.
Again. Tell me a gamer who does not like it when their partner curls up in their lap, either watching them game or just doing whatever the fuck else. That right there is a dom sub by definition. Like, lover situation.
Am I allowed permission to see what you told me?
No.
Right,
Oh.
Megan, show up. Does Megan
Hold on.
show up?
I need
What?
I did my sound clip for stream to go hear the crack that whip.
Look, I was only asking.
I know, and again, consent here is 100% needed, and it is good to show that example of even when having a conversation that consent is there, and that's fine. It's just a real quick way. She was like, nope. It's just.
Because I just think it's cute when she said. I just love the idea. I just think it's funny. But I know you said to me once that you wanted to curl up in my lap, and I was just like, I've got no problem with that.
I said that to you multiple times.
I was gonna say, cuddles, man, cuddles.
I love cuddles.
Jinx to both of you on that one. Jesus fuck.
Listen, okay, cuddles are amazing.
They are. I can't even say that.
They fill you with serotonin.
It really does. Now, moving on to the next time, because I know I said I was going to list them. Well, we did list them all. Now we're going to go into details, right? Now we have the master servant or the master slave. Oh, that was a big yawn.
Sorry.
So with the master servant or the master slave, I'm going to call it the way I know to call it, which is master slave. And yes,
Yeah,
there
I've also
is
heard owner slave too.
owner slave as well. So there's a couple different terms. It's usually roughly in some, it's like more of a spectrum, some degree
Yeah.
of these either A terms or B power dynamic, because this one is more of a power dynamic. I
Yeah.
can straight up say this is the, to me, more extremes, like the hardcore
Mm-hmm.
roles. Okay. Master servant or master slave, owner slave. It is literally as it sounds. The master, being the dom, are in control 100%. The sub or the slave servant in this dynamic, it has, or they have no, and I say it because there is a couple of masters that I know that call their slave it. Because I know you gave me that look, that's why I'm going to explain real quick. Because to them, their slave is like property. It is like a dog, it is like a piece of furniture, it is like a car, it is something that they own, something that they are in control of, and their will be done, so to speak.
Yeah,
yes,
and
sir, in the back.
And while that's not a situation that I'd be comfortable with, it's not my place to judge what people are comfortable with for themselves.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
I don't step on toes at all. But I don't get that. Like, for me personally, I just don't get it. Like, why in the world would you want to just treat another human being like scum? Like,
And that,
treat them like they're nothing
Generally,
except an item. It's like, it just confuses me.
generally, it's people. Okay, in this situation, the sub wants it too.
I know, but like, for me personally, it feels like you have to be in such a low point in your life to want to feel like you just want someone to treat you like some object.
I would put it
Like-
this way. Remember what I said? Feeling, being submissive is like. Sometimes people want that 24/7.
I find it weird that somebody would want to be treated like such garbage, and a human being just be treated like not even a human, just like an inanimate object. And somebody's just like, I don't mind treating you like an absolute waste of space. It just feels wrong for me.
It would also be the difference between a good dom who, even if they see them as property, and someone who doesn't value the sub too.
I would say there is that fine line.
Not to
Yeah.
step on toes. Not to step on toes or anything. It just for
You're
me
expressing
personally,
your thoughts and feelings on it, and there is the good side of the line. The bad side would be like, right, you're wrong, how fucking dare you, get right, kind of.
Yeah.
Like that is king shaming. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
So what
but,
you're expressing is on the good side. You're okay.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
within bounds.
It's okay to not understand it because, like I said, it's completely not for me.
Like I myself, I'm not a master. I am not an owner. To be honest, this one over here will say, well, yes, sir, like a sub would say or a slave would say to their master, but I am no way, shape, or form that strict.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, if that is your thing,
Then
I'm
that's your
not.
thing. Whatever floats
that's
your
your
boat, you
thing?
do you, boo boo.
But obviously at the same time, like, if I like, okay, obviously before you know this, yeah. But if I were to meet someone, and that's what they demanded of me, I just walk away and say like, yeah, I'm not that person. Or if like you were to say that, you know, that's what you, it's like, yeah, that's not gonna fly here.
Yeah, and that's
Just,
how
I'm always-
I made that
I was
because I am not comfortable with that. Like, if you were to say something like that to me, I would probably smack you in all honesty because I'm not gonna let you treat me any way you want like that. But then the second image that went through my head when you said some masters called their slaves an it,
Oh,
the
I could see
immediate
Angel's
second
face.
image that went through my head was the clown. And I was like, okay.
God damn it, Angel.
I'm sorry.
That's it.
Wait,
That's it. We need a goddamn it angel command in here.
You said it,
Yeah.
and that was like
I
the
know,
first
but-
thing that went through my
but
head.
We have a bad Jack.
we
need
have a
goddamn
bad
it
Jack.
angel.
We need a goddamn it angel. We need-
Why?
both of you. Jesus
What
Christ.
did I do?
God damn it.
Anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, I've just never gotten the fact that like other people just want to treat other people like absolute scum. It's just I don't get that, and it really
Right.
does freak me out.
It's also taking and also remembering that sometimes people want to be treated that way too.
I was
But
gonna
why
say.
though?
Okay,
Yeah,
Jack,
it's-
hold on.
Sorry.
No, no, you're okay.
It's okay.
Take a step back. It's okay. You're not
Yeah.
wrong. All I know is we'll cover that more in the kinks and fetishes kind of like topics that we will be
Yeah.
covering. But it kind of plays into that kink and into the fetish because there are several people, not only on mainstream, that portray it, but
Yes.
also like IRL, like real life, that prefer being like humiliated,
Yeah.
treated like scum. It is part of their likes. It gets them off. Why?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Most of the time when
I
it
will
comes
say
to
for most
that-
people that kind of dynamic, okay. I will say Ash has talked about this with us before. It's better to be more of like sprinkles on a cupcake than
I really
actually-
have.
yeah, I forget how you referred to it before, but it wasn't that, but it was same idea.
Basically, like when you're making batter, right? A sprinkle here, a little dash of this, a little bit of
Yeah.
this, a pinch of there.
Then like a full time, your
getting
full
them to try
situation,
and
full
bake
dynamic.
Well, I mean, because okay, think of it this way, right? When you're talking about a recipe, or and if you listen to any cook, they always
Or
say a
like-
pinch of this,
okay.
a dash of that, a sparkle
A
of this,
paprika-
or whatever,
A
whatever the fuck they
paprika
say.
on your deviled egg.
Yeah, it's a dash of paprika, and it's like, how much is a fucking dash?
Don't ask me. I
How
don't
much is a
know.
pinch? My pinch is
Uh,
smaller than your pinch. It's smaller than yours.
It's
There
just
is no
Quar-
right
it's
way
either
to
a
say
quarter or a
this.
third of a teaspoon, if I remember correctly.
There's actual measurements.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
There's actual measurements for it. It's just not as common as like the measuring. cups.
Usually it's just that you usually describe like that, but technically there is a measurement.
Welcome to
The
the cooking
world
segment
you
of this
know.
part of the show.
Well,
But
and
I mean, food play is part of kinks and fetishes as well, so we'll cover that later too. But
Yeah.
anyway, no, it's when it comes to dom, like with me, like I said, I'm multiple. Am I a master though? No.
you better not.
I'm not that strict. It's against my code essentially, like as a person.
And that's why I'm married.
Dude,
Because I
I'm
would
just
want
be
to
sh-
be with you if you were that way.
I'm gonna be straight honest. I'm too much of a bitch to be that strict.
And that's okay. That really is okay. Like me growing up with all the crap I've been with, right? That I'm still
God
Interrupting
damn it,
cow.
Angel.
I'm
It's
sorry.
trippy.
the way that my life has, I guess, like the hand that I was dealt, the way I dealt with things, and I made it through, and here today, I cannot be that strict. Not saying that I can't be strict, because I have to be with this one, especially be more of a brat tamer.
I am not brat.
Yes, you are.
No.
Yes, you are.
Okay, then fine. I'm not gay.
Yeah, you are.
So there you go.
You
There's
can
your
act
answer.
straight if you wanted to.
I think I
No,
did
but
pretty
you
good
are-
faking it.
You look more happy than I do.
But, happiness is a relative term in how you're feeling.
Said you weren't gay. I'm
We
just
all
saying
know
you look
Jack.
happier.
No, no, Jack's the only straight one here.
Yeah.
So with that though, and it's
Unfortunately.
again, we're just covering all the topics, we're covering all the bases, like with the different dom sub dynamics. This is part of it. Doesn't mean I agree with it. It doesn't mean it's for me, and that's okay. It's
Yeah.
whatever floats your boat. You do you. Whatever makes you happy and makes you comfortable. You
Yeah.
can like chat. I'm not here to say that's
As
wrong.
long
How
as-
fucking dare you?
As long as it's safe and consensual and between adults.
Whatever works. But with master slave, though, I do have to say, it doesn't even have to be sexually either.
No.
There's a lot of
Really?
master slaves that I know of that is 100% non-sexual.
Yeah.
And they're just more of, and that's why I kind of see where servant comes in.
Yeah.
But it's still
Uh,
like,
I
it just
know.
doesn't
I
feel
know
right.
of some servant subs that are asexual, actually.
And it could be simple as they have to get up, cook, clean, lay out the clothes for, and even, and again, non-sexually, like, shower their master. Like, they go in the shower with them, scrub them up. They have to do everything for their master. Again, non-sexually, it's just they have to cook, clean, bathe, and not in a little way, like a little would have their caregiver do, but in the way of, and I don't want to put this stigma on it, but it's the way my brain can explain it. It is like a billionaire having
Yeah.
people doing certain
Like,
tasks
Take
throughout
caring,
the day.
like take caring of their every whim, basically.
Dare I say, like, to quote something that's not, I guess, normal, would be like, I think it's Disney movie for Emperor's New Groove. Who did Emperor's New Groove, guys? DreamWorks?
No, I'm pretty
Pixar?
sure that's Disney.
Disney? Okay.
I think
It was
it was
Disney.
Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was
So-
in those basically the in between years of the like huge.
It was like
movies.
it was like the Renaissance.
You know, that-
I
that
think it
was
was like
great.
after the Renaissance of Disney.
Yeah.
Okay. So with Emperor's New Groove, right? He just snapped his finger, and then there was food. There was somebody giving him drink, giving him a sip. Every
That's
whim,
scary.
and
Yeah.
every whim, every little whim that he had.
He had servants that weren't slaves.
Well, true, but that's why I'm saying it could be a servant. Why the term is there for a master and servant.
Actually,
Versus
consider
a
the area
master
that were
slave.
probably slaves. Just servant sounds nicer in Disney.
You
That's
know,
Yeah.
I mean, even this is gonna sound really weird too, but the Princess and the Frog. The prince.
I still haven't seen that.
The prince straight up said when he like left his home and him and Tiana were frogs, he did not know how to do anything for himself because he had servants to do it all for him. It's that kind of servant. It doesn't have to be sexual in nature. There can be 100% no sex anywhere, but still that master slave, master servant, owner slave, owner servant, however the dynamics go for that specific partner or people. There is no, again, right or wrong way for this. Now it could be 100% sexual where Dom says jump, sub said yes sir, how high. It just, there's that, again,
It
spectrum.
depends on individual dynamics of the relationship, and in relationship, I don't necessarily mean couples relationship. I mean
Like dynamic.
relationship, dynamic between people.
Because I know a couple of dynamics that have safe words, the sub or slave, servant, fill in term.
Yeah,
They have safe words of either end that scene, end the play, end that role, which sometimes there isn't. It's just more of a, hey, this is a little out of my comfort zone kind of line, where they still live it. There is no end. But
Yeah.
hey, hold up. I don't agree to this. This is a little not okay for me. Hold up.
yeah, because there is a difference between owner slave and TPE.
There you go. But then there's also a couple of dynamics that I know of. The slave, servant, whichever term applied. There is no such thing as a safe word.
Yeah, and that would be
There is
TPE
completely
total
none.
power.
Is 100% what the master or dom says goes. So even if it seems, and I'm going to use an extremity here, guys, I'm not saying this is okay in any means. But like, for example, and again, I'm using this because I don't see this happening ever. At least I would hope this never happens. But if the Dom says, or in this case, Master or whatever, go put your hand on that stove that's still, like the burner that's turned on, the slave has no way of saying no. They have to do it because the Dom said so. Like, again, I'm praying that's not a thing. But
hoping
again,
no one would ever do that in that situation.
right. But it's just that extreme.
Humans have no bloody bounds, man. Humans are idiots.
But with that, that's why to me, the master servant, master slave is the extremities. They're usually like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, and with TP being the far extreme.
Okay, I see the confusions on Two Faces. Total power exchange.
I'm not confused. Sorry.
You're falling asleep. You got a full belly and you're happy and content.
A little bit, yeah. To where like part of my
Wait,
brain is
no, I'm
just
yawning like
tuning out,
crazy.
going sleep, and the other part is like, no, you need to be awake.
Same.
God.
I'm yawning up a storm. I'm just like, stay awake for the
I'm
podcast.
not intentionally trying to tune out. I'm really not.
But okay, well, we'll continue. We'll keep going.
I
Okay.
was gonna say
Moving on.
move on.
None to see here. Your drunk talk. Okay, then there's the bondage, right? It's not unusual to see different partners who create, whether it be bondage, harnesses, or suspensions for like different scenarios or scenes. But like the rope bondage, there's even restraints.
Yeah, and this is also where the riggers and rope bunnies would fall.
This is exactly where the
Guilty.
yeah, this is
It's never happened yet, but I will be tied up.
Yeah, but again, this can be done again 100% non-sexual.
Yeah.
Clothes on completely like as we are right now and just go there you go.
Yeah.
Did I just scare you? You'd love it, Jack, is what Shay said. Honestly, Shay, because I understand and I'm not going to share, you and I need to have some great conversations with this. My Shibari was non-sexual, see? It 100% can be non-sexual. It is the... But that's again where the trust comes in. I'm not gonna lie. I'm interested not only being the roper, but even being a rope bunny, because the idea.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
interested
so much
in both
tied
sides,
up.
to be honest.
I'm not saying that the whole tying up part is what gets me, because that is a little on my iffy side because of my past. All I'm gonna say is the idea of when tied up, you get suspended and like free falling, trusting not only like your roper or the one tying the rope bound you correctly and has got those knots in the right place and holding you, but whatever you're tied to, whether it be the bridge, tree, pick scenario, even like a suspension point, it is mounted and like secure enough to hold you where you just stay there. To me, it seems beautiful and seems like a release. I don't know how else to explain that, like an emotional, like mental release. And it seems so damn beautiful. I jelly. I actually got suspended during those picks.
I mean, if you want,
And it was gorgeous and beautiful.
Yes, they were beautiful pictures.
They were absolutely beautiful. And if you will learn and we can do that, fuck yeah. I gotta find the video of me floating. Okay, this is gonna be really weird of me to say. My ultimate level that I would want is to, again, being tied up or bound in a certain way where I can still move my arms like to like maybe my elbows, where I can move my arms enough, But being left like literally a half an inch away from like water. The reason why, it doesn't even have to be like deep water. We're not talking about like it has to be an ocean.
Even like a creek.
I'm like talking about like a creek, like what's on the trail back here, to where I can feel, hear, and see the water like trickling down, like with the like a bubbling brook, and just leave me there for like 3 hours and come back and check on me. Just because that way it is completely surrounded by nature. Both, there is nothing tying or like holding me down essentially to the ground. I am literally suspended in air. There is water. There is the sensation of the rope. Like, it's so beautiful. Even she's like, ooh, that sounds fun. I've seen some pics of people in nature like that, and it looks lovely. See, it's all about connecting with nature in just a new way. I'm all above that. I'm all for that. Like, Shay, let's go.
I would smack your ass.
Well, it's not like I
Angel,
can
you
stop
want to
you.
smack everyone's ass.
I mean, fair. But
Like, I'm
you
telling
can't do
you
anything
this,
to me
I
at that
feel,
point.
I'm telling you this, I feel bad for the cops that like have to like arrest people who are like into like getting like chained up.
Ass max for all. Oh, shit.
I feel like as long as they're not nude in the public, they don't give a fuck.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
officers.
yeah.
If, you, like, if a cop has to like arrest a rope bunny, it's like, I have to put you under arrest, you go, do it. I dare you.
Well, no, that's not true.
Okay, sir.
Pineapple juice.
What's your safe word? Mine's pineapple juice. Anyway, but it.
Mine's release the Kraken.
Oh God. I've seen people twerk on cops as they got arrested. It's funny. Oh Jesus
I
Christ,
want to see
Shay.
that.
You can share those videos with Angel. She would love you forever in eternity.
I was gonna say,
but-
unrelated
For me-
topic, I
But for
saw-
me,
Hmm? Oh, okay. Real quick, before you continue, all I'm gonna say is, on this site, they said something that I have to read. It is very beautiful and 100% accurate. While this play can be done with a stranger, but because of the substantial amount of trust needed, not to mention skill, it would be wise, or can be wise and pleasurable, to establish a regular partner for this kind of play.
Yeah.
So like at the events, at the parties that I was talking about that are nationwide, okay, and even subcategorically, maybe not be a full-on event, but there's usually these groups, like shibari groups, or what's the other one?
Kimbaku?
Kimbatku, however the fuck
I
it's
I
said.
think it's Kimbaku, but I could be mispronouncing.
I'm bad. It's the Japanese form of bondage. It's like shibari, but there's another term for it. There's like two terms.
I think it's Kambuku.
Kambuku or what?
Kambuku?
I don't
know.
remember. Go
I'm
to the
gonna
VOD.
look
We
it
read
up.
it. It was in the A to
Kimbaku.
Z. Kimbaku.
Kinbaku.
There you go. You did right. Woohoo! 10 points for Angel. That was a weak smack. But anyway. Yeah, I trusted my friends because I had seen their work on multiple people. See, it's all about that level of trust. And that's why there's...
Yeah.
Usually when it comes to shibari groups, they're very close knit, very... I'm not going to say critical or stingy, but like they're very
It's a very
careful
group.
and exclusive
Careful,
group.
Yeah.
That if you stumble upon them and go, yeah, I'm all about that, you better either A, have the proof, or B, have word from your group that you are in, if they're like a person in there is pretty well known in the shibari like circuit, to be like, no, I worked with this person, I understand everything that goes with it, because otherwise they'll turn away and go, bye bye.
And honestly, I would say if you're learn not on a person. Learn
Yeah, do not
practicing
practice
your knots,
on a
practicing
person.
your tying on anything but a person.
I would say even bottles of water. Like,
bottles of water, pillows,
If
anything
do it
else.
on a random squistle nearby, just grab it.
No, don't tie up an animal,
The hell is
especially if you don't know if you can untie your
a
knot.
squirrel. That is Jack's way of saying squirrel.
I can't say the word angel, so I say squistle.
Say squirrel.
No.
Just
Any
try it.
no, nah,
No,
no,
I
no, because no.
it makes my speech impediment really obvious, because I say squirrel, and it makes my speech impediment really obvious. So I don't blame him.
I was gonna say, like, even me having my speech impediments, there's words I just cannot say, and we're just gonna move on and go. Okay, so
Yeah.
next on the docket is training relationships. On the training relationships, guys, in these, the dom treats the sub as a kind of private student, or even in now, according to this. Yeah, they don't just let anyone get roped up or do the roping. Exactly, you have to have that, like, credentials or proof that you know what you're doing on either side.
Yeah.
But no, when
mean,
it comes,
I don't think. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
To be honest, I don't think I could do it for the certain reason that if I can't do anything in like a minute, I get bored very quickly.
That's the point of you getting roped up and just sitting there.
I know, but I'll be like,
You would
I'll
have
be
to
like-
find a way to can be content with it, because you ain't going anywhere.
You could fart.
I
that
know.
would keep you entertained.
You can fart the
Just-
ABCs.
I'm just vision.
Listen,
God
I've
damn
sung
it.
the alphabet in my head too many times today. Okay.
So anyway, with the training relationships, it does state about role-playing animals, so like puppy pony play, where the dom sets the training regimen and the sub will learn those. It does say in here sexual skills, but again, it can be non-sexual as well, especially with like pony play or puppy play. Usually there is no sex involved. It's just the idea of
What's the matter? What happened?
Angel has Muffin in her lap, and she's just
Oh.
and he just stood there like regal, like, yes, I am here, bow down. He just had that look of fear me, but sorry.
He will give you the evil eye.
He does.
He's given it to me.
But anyway, so with the puppy or pony play, their handlers are
I
considered
just wanted to love you.
trainers or jockeys, I believe, for pony play.
Pony
I'm not
play and-
100%
Yeah,
sure.
there's also like kitten play or kitty play.
Yep.
Well,
Jockeys are mostly the term jockeys mostly known for like horse riders.
Right, but again,
with pony play.
with pony play, they still might be considered jockeys. I'm not 100% sure on that. Please do not quote
Fun
me.
word.
But again, when it comes to animal play, there's puppy play, there's kitty play, there's God only knows.
Yeah.
But it
I
kind
follow a
of
few
fits with
people
other
on
person.
Twitter who are into puppy play as well.
Coincidentally, there is even a subcategory of puppy play. So like puppy play is already a subcategory, right? But even a subcategory of like puppy play is actually wolf play. Like wolf play has its own unique rules, guidelines, and terms therein. Not like I would know anything about that. So anyway, key holders. Key holders are usually a term associated with a chastity play. Again, talking about a lot of play. We'll cover all the different plays and topics they're in. Where the key is in question, I'm just gonna lay it all out there, right? No filter, just being blunt and honest. So, like a key to a cock cage or a chastity belt.
I've showed you the cages before, Jack.
I know, but his face is just like. This kind
Yeah.
of dom sub play involves a sub allowing their dom to tell them when or when they cannot touch themselves, have an orgasm, etc. It is having that control. It is the key or key holders. that is more common than people will explain or think, because they just put it under dom and sub. I mean, it is its own subcategory. It has its own terms, guidelines, and rules therein, which is why it is here.
See, I didn't know that.
The more you learn. And why we're here, chat, learning about the dynamics together. And which is why, Jack, I really wanted you here, is not only because you're new to the scene and the community as a whole, but in general, I'd rather you learn the correct way versus you just going, right, I'm gonna do this my way and watch it blow up in your face. I'd rather not do that to you.
Do it.
No, I mean, like, all I'm gonna say is some of us's previous stressors and traumas. I don't want that to happen to you. I would rather you learn. And if I don't know, we will learn together. How many times have I said that to you?
Set up the stream, and thank you.
What?
Shay sent a video. So, with that in mind, Jack, I've told this to you. If you want to know something, I will teach you. And if I do not know, we will learn together.
It's just, dude. If I can be blunt and honest, blunt and honest,
As long as it's TOS safe.
this shit kind of scares me. 'Cause I'm not used to, like this shit. I'm kind of.
Go ahead and send it to Jack.
Just so, in case you cannot read it, Jack, Shay said, Jack, if you and Lily are comfortable with it, I can send you the pics and stuff too, so you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, go ahead and send it to him. Because he's interested in the rope stuff too, so.
I was gonna say, with the ropes, riggers, and rope bunnies, he is interested in it.
Yeah, go ahead and send it to him.
We're not trying to make you uncomfortable. If that is the case,
I know. No, it's just this shit does kind of scare me, because it's like, I'm not used to being in a situation of, like, oh, you listen to me or else, or something like that.
Yeah, it's...
No, it's just one of those, if it's not for you, then it's not for you. That is perfectly fine. It's not like, okay, you have to be into this. Like the master sub.
I know that.
That's
100% what I'm here for.
Because before all this, my ideal idea of, like, just, of sex was just me and the person I cared about just being with each other, just being, like, in the moment, loving each other, and just being just there as a connection. That's all I've ever wanted.
And that's there.
But when I got introduced to this, and I heard that Lee told me, like, she likes this other stuff, it's like, I want to try it, not because like I felt peer pressure to do it. It's just because if it's something Lily cares about and something Lily finds arousing or attracted or, like, romanticized, like, I want to do that for her because I care about her and I want to try it. But
and
again, my shit is as hard.
It is, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this, 100% of this is not for you.
No,
that's okay. If it's not for you, it's
yeah.
not for you. It's just the information's there for you to keep in the back of your mind or in your back pocket going.
Yeah.
So, like, if the conversation does come up, like, dare I say, you and your buddies, you can be like, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Here is information. Do not.
It's just...
Yeah, this is more of a do what you will with the information. Yep. You never have to do any of it.
I know.
So, like, me personally, the idea of a chastity belt or even cock rings, to me, that's extreme. I'm not into that.
Oh, please don't bring them. I can't.
Sorry.
I shit every time I hear about it.
It's like... No,
it's just that one of those... from the picture Lily showed us, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I didn't show you that because I wanted that.
I know, but it's still in my mind.
But see, it's that information because let's face it, not a lot of people know about it. Like the
Yeah,
first time I walked
and
into an adult store and it's just right there in your face, it's like, it's very overwhelming. It is very much in your face and going, I don't even know where to start. And a
yeah,
lot of the people in there, no offense, those who actually know what they're doing or saying are great. Those are very few and far between. A lot of times it's like the college student who can be up late at night just trying to earn a buck.
yeah,
And they don't care what you do or what you buy, if it's what you really want or need for the various situations or play. They're just
yeah,
like, whatever, no refunds.
yeah,
Next.
and
So that's why I'm presenting this information, because nobody talks about this stuff. This is why
yeah,
we're
and
here.
I'll be honest. The reason I know the things I do is because information, and if it's something I'm even vaguely interested in, then I want to know everything.
It's a hyperfixation.
Yes.
You and I
But
did
yeah,
the same
just
thing, just
like-
on different places.
But yeah, just for me, just being like a newbie in this is just,
It's very
It's-
overwhelming.
like, it is scary, but like, but in my own mind, the way my mind was working is, if Lily wants this and this is what makes Lily happy. I know you've said a lot of times that you don't give a shit if I do, I don't. If I just want to be me genuinely and that's it, no dumb shit or anything, you'd still love me no matter what.
Right.
But the fact that you seemed so like caring and so like into it, I was just like, well, if this is what makes you happy, then I want to try it. But it's kind of hard work knowing that I have to kind of like go out of my element and go out of my own personality to like
That's
to
the thing.
kind of.
You don't have to.
I know, it's just the way I was thinking it, and it's just it kind of just like blew me over a bit, and
I know.
And-
I know it, and a lot of it was also the
it just
you
caught
you
me off guard.
yeah, and I know you also had the impression that Dom has to be aggressive and like the my way or the highway thing,
I know, it's just
and that does not have to be.
So, and to further that, well, that's why we're not in a. The way I can explain this is, Jack, what at least me specifically, what I'm trying to do is guide you through this so you're not caught off guard, so you're not overwhelmed. Like if I were to travel to England to see you and be like, right, I'm coming over, I'm visiting, you would be my guide over there saying, don't do this because it really means this. Don't say this because it really means this. And again, chat, I usually do not use this term, please. But for the prime example, fag here is a very derogatory term, while over there by you, it means a cigarette. So you get what I'm saying? You would be that guy to teach me the okay terms, not okay terms, things to do. Like, I guarantee if I got behind the wheel in a car over there, I would be getting in a car crash because we over here driving the other side of the road.
one does. Every single other fucking country does. We're the ones that don't.
Yeah, it's like the UK and Jamaica.
But you get what I'm saying though. Like,
Yeah,
you would be
Come
my
on.
guide for everything England or UK related issues, items, food, everything, correct? So I'm saying let me be your guide to the BDSM world so you are not caught off guard and you do not accidentally do something wrong. I'm just trying to make sure that not only you are safe, but your partner, whether it's Lily, somebody else in the future, years down the line, 20 years down the line, it's somebody else, so that way you know what you need to do. I'm just trying to be your guide through this
Like I
crazy
said, I
world of
appreciate it.
BDSM.
It's
And I
just,
know-
it's kind of it's just kind of hard to talk about because of stuff, but
I'm gonna say, and TOS is a bitch.
TL's a bitch, yeah.
To
And I care about people enough to not say anything, but it caught me off guard so much that I kind of like got swallowed into this thing I didn't really want to become, and I ended up being more dom than I was comfortable with, and
Shit got out of hand. Let's call it that way.
yeah,
Shit got out of hand.
I wasn't gonna go into any more details. Just
It was one of
I don't
those
know,
you were starting to run before you were able to walk, and that's okay.
Right.
It's okay. Mistakes happen. That's how we learn. But now, to read what Shay's been saying in chat. Shay
Sorry.
said, "Okie dokie. I just wanted to make sure it was okay to send you stuff." Which, Shay, for that, thank you for asking for consent, essentially, or making sure that it was okay. Appreciate you. As well as Shay did say, I used to read a lot of Tumblr and Tumblr. Was that Smut?
Yeah.
SMUT, Smut. That talked about cages and the Fen-Dom humiliation relationships. I'm actually intrigued, not in the way of like, ooh, I'm interested, let's do that. It's more of, I see it as a learning opportunity, and I'm always about that learning.
Yeah, that's true, because I hear more male. It's more, let's just say, there's more media on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is some media about the
Yeah.
dominatrix, because like I told you
Yeah.
about the series I watched on
Yeah.
Netflix. It's
But
called
not
Bonding.
Not necessarily the humiliation relationships and cages and all that. Yeah.
Oh, it did cover some of the humiliation quite a bit in that one. But it still was unique to see that from an outside looking in, even though it was mainstream, I didn't take it 100% authentic or real.
Yeah.
But at least that, like, opening the door concept to get into the knowledge, information, and start pointing me down the path that would be interesting. And then Shay goes, that's why I liked reading it too. It was very interesting dynamic to learn about. Exactly. I'm all about learning. Why BDSM? I don't know. My kinky little heart just loves it. To continue on off of the key holders, we have the caregiver and little. In these relationships, the dom acts like an older caregiver role, such as like a mother, father, aunt, uncle, even maybe even a nanny. It all depends on the dynamic in play. And the sub is the younger role. It's 100% with the age play that we talked about last podcast, which it could be as young as someone like a baby in diapers with a pacifier bottle, etc., 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 to even like a young adult or like adolescent teen. It just depends on the age that the age play is happening, and usually with the caregiver, it's whatever the age is for the little, the caregiver matches the care they're in for them. It can range from nurturing like bath time, hair brushing, feeding, for the like baby ages or toddler ages. It could be changing diaper, etc., 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 to spanking, punishment. It just kind of ranges based on the age play involved. And again, the rules, guidelines in each dynamic. Okay. It can just be a way to let someone take care of you. Like your way your parents would take care of you as a kid. Like when you were sick, they would hold you, nurture you, make you feel better, take care of you. To just even tucking you in bed, kissing your forehead, reading you a story, and, good night.
Yeah.
It varies. It really does. It's, especially from the people that I know in age play, the person tends to go to the age that they feel the most innocent or the most cared for. And usually it ranges. Again, each person's different. But having that caregiver who understands what that role, age, or ages, if it's like a range, what they truly need. And being there to take care of them. It to me is, I think, another one just like the what was the first one we read? the master servant, everybody knows about the caregiver in littles, whether it be mommy little boy or mommy boy, daddy little girl kind of dynamics. They're the most popular and very well shown in media. You going to bed? Oh. And then there's the 24/7, which is what we touched upon the master slave. I like the little dynamic. I do too. Then there's the 24/7, where some people engage in the dom sub play as a permanent, unless negotiated, part of their relationship. Unlike most of the styles or dynamics, these are generally fixed and don't involve switching. So with that, it, like the caregiver little, usually the little stays a little. Caregiver is the caregiver. With that, it's more fixed. It is, there is no switching. Any of the above dynamics can be 24/7. Hence the sprinkle of this, a dash of that. You know, it touches on all of them. Me personally, and it kind of goes into the brat tamer, which we'll cover here in just a minute. It just depends on the partners, it depends on the rules, it depends on the individual people.
I would say in some ways it depends on the day even.
It could even depend on the day. Just because of, like, let's just face it, life sucks. One day at work could be harder to handle than most. So that particular day they come home, ask their dom, if it's the sub, and be like, I need it today. Like, I need to be in the little. Come home, change into the clothing or whichever matches their style of age that they roleplay as, or that they, I guess, switch into, so to speak. And then the age play continues from there. It just really depends on the couple, the circumstances, and the negotiations therein. But to also, might as well start with the brat and the brat tamers. Brats are the people, the subs usually, who like to push their dom's buttons. And yes, I say that with grinding teeth, because that is Angel to a T. Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
And then also the brat tamer is just the dom, the one who puts them straight, straightens them out, puts up with their bullshit. A lot of time it is more of a playful banter between the two. It's me as well, Angel. Yeah. People who say, I'm not a brat, with that certain tone, you're a brat. If you like to push the bounds on your, like, if you are in the dynamic, any dynamic, and you like pushing the bounds to see how far you can push before punishment happens, you're a brat. 100%. Angel, quit lying. Point is, as a brat tamer, I see her trying to push my bounds, push those buttons, see what she can get away with before I turn and be like, alright, that's it, you messed up the wrong way, here you go, here's a pat on the ass, or a smack up against the head, what I call a denozo from NCIS. Like, it's just a fun, more playful way to see how many bending and breaking of rules can happen before punishment happens. It's just a fun, it usually happens with littles and caregivers, dependings. It just, are the bounds even real if they're not pushed? Shay, that's it? I'm putting my foot down. You and Angel are too much alike. Maybe that's why we get along, because I see the same energy that you have, that Angel has, and I'm just like, I can jive with this, and then just Shay. But welcome on in, Boop. How are you doing? Hope you are well. Welcome on in. Appreciate you stopping on by. I love the Gib slap. Yeah, I call it Denozo. I really don't call it the Gib slap. I call it Denozoed. Just boop in the back of the damn head. But welcome on in, Boop. You are catching us kind of at the end. It's Jacob, by the way. I know exactly who you are. I just go by name, as in your nick here. Yeah, sure. Don't make me use... I'm secretly Angel's twin. I mean... Could be a twin flame. I don't know. You guys understand each other in ways that I just go, oh great, they're at it again. Oh, what's that saying? Double toil and trouble or whatever. I'm the I'm the long forgotten Ash's brother. I mean, you can be my brother. I'm okay with that. I have a lot of brothers. Welcome into the family. But no, it's...
We have Oreos and milk.
Yep, just bring the dessert.
Yeah.
But no, when it comes to brats and brat tamers, it is very much overlooked. It's not as common. Everybody just chalks it up to, like, caregivers or littles, because it's when they're little acts out. Especially like the trouble 2s, trouble 3s kind of side of the age play. So it's kind of like a subcategory to a subcategory, if that makes sense. It's like a subgroup within. But if you guys have any more questions or anything...
if the little side is a teen.
Oh, there you go. Like acting out, being rebellious. Yeah.
You know you're acting out and being rebellious if you ever, like, you'll know if they've been rebellious if they convincingly try and tell you they like you too.
The band.
Yes.
I'm aware.
Well, I just wanted to specify it didn't mean, like, the words.
Another way to know if you are a brat is if you make a certain smirk, a certain face, like, and you say, and I quote the words, make me.
Try me would also
Or
apply.
try me.
Said that before. I've had Lily say stuff to me and I'm like, try me.
Okay, no, I'm talking about from
No.
brats.
No, I'm just saying.
I was gonna type it.
Yeah, I've said try me to you before.
Shay.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Hold on. Please hold. Shay, that's enough. I can and will put my foot down to you, young lady. I don't know what it is about those two words that instantly make me go from a 0 to like 1,000 in a New York second. Make me is the best. Then it's just sit and wait. Depends where the foot goes. Nowhere that I have to get it sawed off or cut off or whatever have you. Yeah, it's not going there. But the point is, when Angel uses those two words with that certain look, that certain face that she will give me, that's it. I'm done.
And there we have the brat and the hedonist.
So, stream has ended.
I am streaming, we're not doing this. I am streaming, we're not doing this. I am streaming, we're not doing this. I feel like it's a natural human reaction to want to fight when someone says make me. It is the single-handedly two worst words in the human dictionary for a brat tamer.
What?
Make me, try me, and you haven't got the balls.
What?
I haven't seen Angel ever say to Ash, "You haven't got the balls," and if she ever does, I want to see the carnage that comes out of that.
I was gonna say there's several times that we've been on a VC call with everybody or with multiple people that she will push the bounds. She will put like
No, I don't.
she'll put her
Oh, I've
whole
seen that.
foot
I don't.
across that line to where I will fly off of this chair as quick in a hurry and throw her over my shoulders.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's like, why? When you are, no offense, honey, you are shorter than me, and I can overpower you and just go, bloop, that giggle. Yeah, she knows.
Like watching Ash carry
Ish-
Angel, watching
Anal.
Ash carry Angel on his shoulders is like watching a caveman just get his meat.
Thank you, Shay. See, I am innocent.
Says your twin flame. Jesus criminy sakes alive. That giggle. I know. That's how she knows she caught. She knows she in trouble. She knows she's being called out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hmm. I will take no angel slander. Oh no. Make no bones about it. No qualms about it. I very much love Angel. And I only want what's best for Angel. She just can't get away with that. We are good girls.
I'm
You
an
ain't.
angel.
Even fallen angels were good ones.
I'm not a fallen angel. I'm a good angel.
You're a fallen angel.
I am
You
not.
heathen.
I am not.
Uh-huh.
You definitely gonna fall out the fucking
Shay
window
will
if you
agree
don't
with me. I'm an
behave
angel.
yourself.
Shay believes me. Shay thinks I'm an angel.
I'm done with this conversation.
Besides, I'm not the one that called her Shat.
Listen, I literally had 4 conversations going at once, okay? And my finger went 1 key to the left. 1. I see no heathen, only a gorgeous angel. I mean, she is gorgeous.
You too, Shay.
That's why I married her, so nobody else could. Like, I had to get that on the lock and key real damn quick.
Yeah.
Do you so good? So no one else could, or do you marry him just because of if I don't, she's gonna reincarnate on someone else, so I need to keep this one near me.
No, it was more of one. We did have that connection. We genuinely felt that pull to each other, like we were meant to be together. That we fought. We both fought it, and then it just ended up
You
going.
didn't fight
Like
You
think of
didn't-
a rubber band. You know, you stretch it out, then you
Dang,
just go.
that would be as bad as Shat.
My keyboard one keeps wanting to change angel to anal.
To be honest, if it were you two,
I'm
like,
alive.
trying
Sorry, I
to-
just woke up. That's okay, Valen. Welcome on in.
To be honest, if it weren't you two trying to pull yourselves together in a relationship, it were me. I was the one praising you two on how perfect you two were.
We're not perfect.
We're not perfect.
I know, but then I kept telling you how much you were. I used to praise your relationship so much back in the day.
You still do.
Yeah, you do.
I know, cause I love you both.
But the point is we're not perfect. This is a struggle, my dude.
I don't give a shit.
Well, I would hope not to go do it in the toilet.
It probably
Automated.
happened
Defeated. Y'all is perfect. No. I am I don't care. The reason why I will say we are not perfect by any means. I hope people would use our relationship and how we handle situations as a guide, as a way to say they can do it, we can do it too, because a lot that we do not show to people, because that's our private business, is it's a struggle, y'all. It is hard. Life is hard. The struggles are hard, my dude.
Yeah, it is.
I'll only admit that I can see it, but that's because I can read through both of you like a fucking book.
Yeah, no, we
What am I
talked about
thinking
this.
right
There is
now?
no such thing as a book with me when it comes to you. You can see right through me like a goddamn pane of glass.
And I get
Pane.
You and her. You two.
Pane of glass, not pan of glass.
I said pane of glass.
We didn't
Did you
use
say
a pan.
panty glass?
What about panties?
This is why we need to play telephone, because it would be the greatest game ever with our group. Hands down.
Being married, being a round the clock struggle, but I love it. I wouldn't change it. I really wouldn't.
I can now not unsee just like a house just with like windows just made out of like glass made out of panties.
See, I was imagining a pair of glass panties and how uncomfortable that would be.
That would be
Ugh.
uncomfortable. Imagine if that broke.
Oh God.
Okay, we're moving on to female-led relationships. The term is traditionally describes an ongoing like relationship between a dominant woman and a submissive man, though as some professional dominatrix will say, that definition has been evolving. Okay. The female-led relationship can be any relationship that is not male-led, as in any female in charge. Okay. It is more extreme and perhaps traditional in its traditional form. Is a relationship basically where the female or femi is a decision maker for the other partner. It could be anything from finances to attire to like minuscule tasks like chores. So kind of like what we were talking about, okay, it applies to any of the relationships that we have previously mentioned or dynamics, just being female led, like a mommy and little boy in this case, or even little girl if it's a same-sex couple, or even in a male and male couple or a gay couple where the femi of the two is the one in charge, like SpongeBob's tear sweater.
Tear sweater.
Oh,
He made a sweater for Squidward, and he didn't
Of his
like it,
tears.
so then he made another one made out of his tears.
Somehow.
I'm just gonna call it this, y'all. Squidward's a dick, okay?
I mean,
Yeah, he has a dick on his nose.
you're not
I mean, you're not
wrong.
wrong with that either. Especially with his laugh. Maybe that's where they got the villager sound for Minecraft.
I
Tell
really
me
do
I'm
Squidward's
different
laugh
along.
really, really badly. I can
I
actually
love
do it.
Squidward. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying, like, for the episodes that Angel would be playing in the background, like doing different chores around the house or like cooking dinner, he's a straight up dick to
Okay.
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean,
let's
he'll
be-
later on
let's be
apologize.
Let's be honest though. If you lived in between SpongeBob and Patrick, would you not be the same way?
I'll put it in the best perspective. If you lived between me and that, wouldn't you be the same way?
You would be Squidward.
Mine in that shenanigans, and you in the middle.
The face of realization.
You go one house in the middle, I'm on the other side, he's on the other. Us two are just doing our shit house ideas. And
Just
you're in
to
your
be
house
honest,
going,
I could
"I
see them
want
like
this
shitting
to
in each other's
stop.
front
I
lawn
want
as
this to
pranks.
stop."
Is it
Yeah,
bad? As soon as he said that, I was like, holy shit.
You would.
I am
It's-
Squidward.
I could see them
Fuck!
doing really fucked up shit to each other, like shitting in each other's front lawns and stuff.
Buddy, what are you griping about?
You take my fertilizer, here's my fertilizer, take this!
Oh, man.
Uh,
We ain't doing that.
Y'all, that's it. I'm done. I quit. Done. Shay says, I follow another Instagram
Instagram, yes.
page where the guy is a sub and dresses up in latex sexy outfits based on what the femi says it. Ooh.
Latex would stick to me too much.
Latex is one of those I can't do.
Yeah, me
And
too.
to explain, when I talk about this, guys, I have a texture like sensitivity where
Yeah.
certain textures I just physically cannot handle touching.
Easy.
Interrupting cow.
I'm not a cow. I'm an angel.
Oh, I was referring to the like home song or joke thing. Interrupting cow, you know.
Woo!
There you go. But with that, okay. With
God
that,
damn it.
latex is one of those. No.
Yeah, me too. I can even only have leather
This-
sparingly if it's like shoes or
I don't know
gloves.
with latex. I have no idea. I've never touched the stuff.
You, all I can say is, do you know how hard it is for me to sit still and not move when Angel's pouring the liquid latex stuff for like the FX makeup?
Yeah, I can do gloves and latex. I could probably do like the makeup, but like
I'm
again,
iffy when it
can't-
comes to
I-
gloves.
like it can't be like a large portion of my body.
I can
And the
think of
sound.
somebody in a massive latex suit, and all of a sudden, like, you just don't hear anything for 2 seconds. All of a sudden, you just hear. It's just
Yeah.
this latex dude just coming out and just squeaking.
And see, that noise. My brain is no on that
Yeah,
either.
yeah, that's why I'm like, well,
Oh god, I bet you two hate the sound of balloons, then.
Baby, I love you. You are making me cringe.
Make me.
Ooh.
Oh.
Hey, you weren't cringing anymore. You're welcome.
So,
Oh god, after the stream, shit's gonna go down.
to wrap this up real quick, guys, if you're interested on this particular site that I do have for the particular article, tips for exploring any like dom sub kind of relationship or dynamic, do your research. Number one,
okay,
straight off the
which
bat.
one are you on, by the way? Because I had all
The-
3 bookmarked.
And I'm gonna initial it, the mbg.com.
Okay, I'm just gonna post that one in chat
Okay, thank you, darling.
because I had all 3 bookmarked and open. So
I'm so glad you understood where I meant with that. So with this one, it says, number one, do your research to start. The person who wrote this, or like the person that they talked to about information, recommends figuring out what kinds of styles are there, what they involve, what you might need to do to engage within it, and what kind of focus you are drawn to. It is recommended to read, attend classes, and even seek out mentors. 2, figure out who you'll play with for like the different Jesus Christ.
I'm
For-
sorry, they come when they want.
That's what he said. For like the age play, when it comes to like the puppy play or the pony play, find someone that you are comfortable to have that play with. It's important to ask like what kind of partner, or if you have a partner that is comfortable in that. If you like, say Angel and I were interested in say puppy play. Okay, obviously there's my play partner right here, my dynamic partner. To where we would find a mentor to teach not only me, but both of us in that dynamic, in that role to fit us. Okay. And then, talk with them and see where things go. Figuring out who you'd be with. It says 4, but really number 3, I think they just lost count. Set boundaries and limits. Okay, so have very clear, defined boundaries, like the rules, guidelines that we keep talking about. Make sure that they are in place, before starting any dom sub role play. It is imperative that both the dom and sub sit down and go over boundaries and limits. This may include a contract detailing what the sub is comfortable with and what is off limits. So they termed it as a contract due to probably mainstream or legal binding things. I would say for sure, make sure rules, guidelines, safe words, all that communication happens first and foremost, really, before any play starts, y'all. Number 5 is prioritize safety. The submissive's physical, mental, and emotional safety, as well as that of the dom, is extremely important. It is crucial, y'all. As many dom and sub relationships involve some level of bondage, discipline, caregiving, and punishment, it is the dom's responsibility to stay clear of mind, limit drug, alcohol during the role play, stop the role play before getting tired, and always be aware of the submissive state of being. For example, Angel and I, what I do all the time is ask her where her head's at. Where is her headspace? How is she doing? And that is always what comes in right after is the before, during, and after care. I cannot stress that enough. So after, say, we do impact play, just throwing that out there. Afterwards, I would care for her. I would give her massages if need be. I would give her lotion if it's more of, like, say I hit her thigh. I would rub it, make sure that I give her a massage, kind of get that, like, tense muscle loosened up a little bit. I would cuddle her, give her some food, give her water, give her whatever is needed for that aftercare depending on the play. Okay, as well as checking on her mentality, making sure that she is out of that role, that she is okay and knows that I am still there for her, as well as emotional roles, because a lot of play involve emotional, not only bondage, like things that they hold in or cannot express during that play, to where giving them that time to express their thoughts, feelings, and things safely. As well as you'll need a safe word. Even if you're not doing much that requires special gear or special equipment, it is always important, I cannot stress this enough either, making sure that your safe word is a word or phrase that will never come up during normal conversation or any other play. So it's immediately clear when it is said. Play is either stopped immediately or slows down. Generic terms are like red light, green light, yellow light, where green light is go, we're okay. Yellow light is okay, we're starting to get into uncomfortable territory. Red light means stop, like the stop sign or like traffic lights. I usually don't use those because when talking about things, I do talk about colors. So to me, colors are not applied to my safe words or what I tend to set up. I talk about things that are completely random. Just so that way I know if Angel says them, because they do not come up in a normal conversation in any way, shape, or form, I know there is something wrong and my immediate attention will turn to her. And then number 6 is finding a community. All of this is much easier when you have role models and people around you who get it, who understand where you're coming from, as well as finding people that are like-minded. Because then it makes that play go from mediocre to even probably like euphoric. Like, I'm sure, Shay, I'm not trying to call you out, but I'm sure you can contest to this. When you had your group that you've been talking about, whereas, doing role play stuff by yourself without the group, it was so much better and so much more intense being surrounded by the group and doing things similar with the group. So there is also, it says, you can also find kink-aware therapists and other professionals who have classes that delve into the emotional space as well as physical techniques of BDSM and Dom-Sub play. Bottom line is, it can be an amazing experience for you and your partner or partners. However, before diving headfirst into anything, do your research and make sure you are comfortable with all that will be required of you, no matter what dynamic or like role you are playing in all of this. And finally, whatever you do, make sure you're creating a safe, consensual space built on agreements and discussions that honor everybody involved. That was a lot of reading, guys. I promise. We are getting close to the end, okay? Now before well, I understand. And I do apologize. Before we go, we do have a video, y'all. Okay.
It's short.
It is short.
It's not
It's
long.
really, really not. It's
That's what she said.
a 10-minute video.
Yeah. Jack, it's the one we watched.
Alright.
So to make sure, okay, to make sure that we're kind of all on the same page, it's a quick little video. 10 minutes is not long, y'all. So we're gonna learn together, okay?
I may have to move my mouse, so give us 2 seconds. So play it, I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, give us a minute.
So guys, stay tuned. We're gonna learn together. This is one of the, I guess, what would be considered content creators that I personally have been loving their videos. It's very informative, as well as gives you a very unique perspective on different things. You can ask Lily. I've been citing their videos quite a bit lately, especially doing research for this podcast. Things that, like me specifically, I'm not a sub 100% of the time. So I know what it's expected of a sub, but not from a sub in the sense of 100% what is needed for other sub types, because I'm a generic sub. I don't really have a specific type. It's just more generic. I'm not in charge. Angel can do what the fuck happens. We do have our rules and guidelines in therein, and that's that. Okay, so let's learn together, guys. Let's watch this little video.
There's a lot of misconceptions out there regarding the dominance and submission dynamic, especially when people think that dominance and submission is about giving up power and control and then also taking power and control. I mean, I'm raising my hand high and admitting that I used to think this way when I started my kink journey like 5 years ago. But I'm happy to say, after 5 years, I've matured up a little bit and realized that after being in a 24/7 master-slave relationship, which is a step deeper than dominance and submission, hence this color, I can safely say it's not about power and control, but something else. So this video is just an honest talk about what it's like to be in a dominant and submissive relationship from the point of somebody living it every day of her life. That's me. I'm going to share with you then 3 truths about what it's like to be in a DS type of relationship so that you can create your own happiness and your own journey in a safe way should DS be something that you want to explore. And I get it, a lot of it comes from media, like mainstream media, like 50 Shades of Grey. I mean, a lot of it is influenced by what we see, and it's often overshadowed by a layer of drama so that it affects the bottom line for these franchises. And with that being said, that can skew the truth of what being in this type of a relationship means for all of us. I live this lifestyle 24/7 with a partner whom is the best master I could have ever asked for. And so I'm coming at it from not only a personal level, but also the education that I've received from others before me.
Ooh, that guy. Motherfucker. Listen here.
Truth number 1. It's not about control. It's about trust. So I touched upon this topic a little bit in the introduction, but because it's such an important aspect, I really want to dive a little bit deeper as to what I mean between the difference of giving up control and power versus trusting your dominant to lead. So if you were to really think about giving up your power and control in this relationship and dynamic, that's actually super unhealthy and extremely toxic. It's giving up a sense, especially if you're the submissive, your individuality, your agency. And I get it. It's a fine line because You're consenting to want someone to lead the relationship, but at the same time, how do you balance your individuality with all of that? And most importantly, this type of thinking, especially giving up your power and giving up your control, or taking the power and taking control, is not empowering for anybody. It actually sets the dynamic as a whole to fail. So for me, while I have consented, I absolutely consented to have my master lead the relationship, it's not about giving up my power at all. Even though my role is slave, I can still think for myself. I can still make my own decisions. I can still go after the dreams of being an amazing business owner that I've set for myself. I don't want to lose any of that. So the difference between how I live my relationship and how others may live their relationship is that I trust my master to lead. It's like saying he's the CEO of our relationship business and I'm the COO. He has the vision of where he wants to go, and I have the skills to execute and to move us forward. And I also trust him to lead the way. And that could be something as small as where we're going to eat for dinner, what we're going to order, because I don't order my own food anymore. Or something as big as, this is the house I want to buy. And yes, he's asked for my opinion before because my opinion matters to him. But at the end of the day, it's me trusting him to lead the relationship forward. It's me trusting him to make the decisions that are in both of our favors. I think the thought about giving up control and giving up power, if you do that, it means you lose yourself. And in order for me to be the best submissive, in order for me to be the best slave possible to my partner and master, I have to be in the utmost control of myself. I have to be submitting and serving and surrendering from a place of power. Otherwise, my trust goes out the door. My anxiety surfaces. My panics just rise and skyrocket. And none of this mindset is good for anybody, which leads to my second point. Dominance and submission and BDSM as a whole is very much a mindset practice. So it's just like a little mindset switch between giving up power and control to trust, right? It also means that you don't also need to physically be pinned against the wall with someone's hand around your neck to feel submissive. Oh my god, that was... Woo! Fantasy just went through my mind. Okay. Feeling submissive is all in your mind.
Bruh,
So even if you are cooking dinner, or even if you're folding laundry, something that you do every day, it's like, how are you serving your partner? How are you feeling submissive to your dominant by doing these
Oh, that
things?
made me
It
think of
doesn't
this
have to be
DVD.
sexual whatsoever. Of course, sex can play a large part in DS, because who doesn't like power exchange kinky sex? But it's not the end-all be-all, and if it's only sex that matters, like any type of relationship in or out of kink, the sex is going to fade. Like for me, without a shadow of a doubt, I know that whatever it is I'm doing, I'm serving my master. So let me give you some examples. So one of my protocols that my master wants me to follow that is considered being submissive and serving to him is to go forth and to pursue my 7-figure business goal dreams. So what that means is he accepts me for all that I am and all that I want to be, and he is supporting that. And to him, that is considered serving the relationship, serving him and moving our relationship forward, doing what I know and need to do to make it happen. Another example is that I am in charge of protecting his property. So I'm his property as slave, and so when I go out with my friends, when I go have fun, when I go out and eat, when I go work out, it's all about being submissive and serving him because I'm doing what I need to do to stay healthy. And yes, I love doing all those things with my friends and working out and eating and all that, so it's like a win-win all around. And all of this leads to my final truth. Successful dominance and submission is about finding the right fit that supports you and your partners in the best way possible and brings out the best in everyone. You can find your DS unicorn, I promise you, because I've found it. I mean, take me for example. I found a master and partner that fit me so well. He wants me to go after my 7+ figure business goals. He loves the way I laugh. He loves the way I speak my mind. He knows I am confident, dominant, powerful, and that's how he wants it. He wants me to be strong, and he's not worried about it whatsoever. It doesn't emasculate him. It's really easy, especially for us submissives, to feel guilty. So the fact that he wants me to pursue my life dream is beyond dreamy. And it speaks to something much larger. It means that he wants me to submit and surrender to him exactly as I am. Confident, ambitious, determined, loud, fun, all the things that make up me. It means that I am enough. In fact, I am more than enough for him, and that is a feeling that is indescribable because it really sets me up to soar and to fly, as opposed to being some doormat that gets walked on over every day. Like, wow, it's so powerful that just by being 100% me, I am enough. So you see how finding the right fit in DS makes all the difference? This ups your confidence factor. This ups your trust factor. This ups your honesty factor. It just up levels you and your partner's dynamic so much that is required of this dynamic to be successful. Oh my god, I just started crying because it was so powerful in terms of this conversation, because it hit me so hard. So comment yes below if this is something that you want in your DS relationship as well. Wow, so this was such a powerful video for me to just quickly talk about. I mean, I could talk about this all day. It makes me so proud to wear his collar, because I'm with somebody that accepts me for all that I am, in and out of kink, and that makes the world of a difference. So if you enjoyed this video, if you found it powerful, helpful, informative, give me a thumbs up. Comment below on what your takeaways are. I would love to make more videos like this if it really means that you guys are getting something from this. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching.
So with that, guys, yes, that is what she was wearing. She was wearing her master's collar that in a previous video that she does make, she talks about how he handmade it. And yes, honey, I would love to do that for you as well. However, you will not like it.
What?
It will not come off. Ever.
Well, it needs to come off at some point. Like for showers.
Nope.
You know?
That's why she wears it 24/7.
Well then, bitch, get making.
How quickly she cracks that whip. Hold on, I gotta do it again. Okay, no,
You
it's...
love that button too much.
I fucking do. I really do. But no, the point is of that video, kind of touching on, coincidentally, the master slave. Like, that right there is why I said the master slave is such a spectrum. How each of these dynamics are such a spectrum, because it's not a one size fits all. It is very much how it pertains to you, your life, your partner's life, and your guys' thoughts therein. It is very important to make sure that you guys find someone that you can be 100% authentically you. No bullshit, no give or take. In the sense of, you are you. You are unique, and you need to find somebody that accepts you being you. Now, of course, there's always a little bit of a bend or break. Like, essentially, like, bending a little bit. Like, for example, with me, originally, not gonna lie, I wasn't 100% into the whole idea of being a brat tamer. Y'all seen that little fucking face, did you? Didn't you?
I didn't make a face.
Fuck you, you didn't.
I didn't.
Bullshit. Chat, you seen that, right? If you just
Yeah.
simply put in yes, if you seen that motherfucking evil fucking glare, she just gave me like a little gremlin.
I did not.
Anyway, point is, but because, yes, I wasn't 100% into that idea, with her being a brat, I needed to make that little bit of a bend where, okay, that is something she needs. I will start doing some research into it. I did the research, and actually turns out I already am a brat tamer. Because again, one size does not fit all. And I was already doing quite a bit of the things being a daddy dom that a brat tamer does. And again, dom. Picture it as a cake. It's a sprinkle of this, a little bit of splash of that. Variety. Okay? So with that, guys, with that, do not feel, by the way, I looked and most channels are set to only allow channels that are a month old to raid. Mine was automatically set to
Okay,
that.
that's what it is.
Okay.
That's why we're unable to raid. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you looking. Thank you very much.
Like,
Yeah, and
Oh.
thank
I
you.
was
for that,
confused
Alan.
because, like, after, like, I want to say at least 2 weeks or so, me and Nat were allowed to, like, raid, like, someone.
Well, it might be
it
now,
could be a
especially
more
after
updated thing with the hate raids and all that happening, added security features, which is added.
Then
Especially
we
the
did,
shield
have,
mode.
we did have our channel for a long time because it used to be the Black Arts channel, so
Yeah, and
I
the
would say
channel
even-
has existed for a while.
even if it's been there for a hot minute and what just wasn't used, it's still, the age is there. But anyway, so guys, with that, all I can say is don't feel like you have to change and like who you are, what you stand for, what your morals and values are to fit your partner
No.
or your dynamic that you guys are trying to be in. Okay? Do not change. You are the beautiful, authentic beings that you are. And you are enough. Just like she was saying, you are enough.
And I
Okay.
will say more likely than not, your partner just wants you for you. If your partner truly wants to be with you.
Because honestly, that is what Angel is to me. Because originally I thought I was Dom and that's that. I'm 100% Dom. It's only actually with Angel and authentically Angel. Because yes, I've been subbed before, but not near the same level. And like, I guess 100% authentically me still. As I am with Angel. Because she makes me feel safe. She makes me feel like I am enough. And the care and nurture and the guidance that she does provide being a Dom makes me just, dare I say, like a cookie, all gooey inside. Again,
I want
little
cookie
Cheshire
now.
gremlin cat face.
I want a cookie now.
So anyway, guys, as we're wrapping up, now is the part of the podcast, the segment or whatever. If you guys have any questions, concerns, stories, anything you want to share, ask, now is that time before we do end stream. Again, as long as it's TOS appropriate, by all means, ask away.
Yeah, and I will say TOS appropriate, or we can work a way to answer it in a TOS appropriate way.
And if ultimately it is, okay, we have a question. Fuck yes! What's the purpose of a collar? Okay. Mind if I take this one?
Go ahead, go for it.
This is kind of more forte.
I was gonna say, Lily's been just letting you do all the talking.
Yeah, by all means, if you guys want me to shut up, just tell me to shut the fuck up.
I'm good.
Alright, so with the collar, it serves multiple purposes. Usually, it's the sub who wears a collar. And sub by, again, umbrella term, whether it be slave, whether it be little, well, little, not so much.
Yeah.
But like sub in generic terms, Puppy for puppy play, or well, I'm sure kitties in for like the
Yeah,
cat play
yeah.
as well.
Pet play in general, usually.
Okay, animal play or pet play. Um, they're the ones who would wear the collar, which signifies that they are the sub. And there's a few ways that a dom can signify that is my sub. One, a handmade or like even store-bought collar with like a padlock on it where they have the key. It could be again like a handmade where it's very custom to that person. Like on the lady's collar that we were just watching, she had a lock to put the way her collar was made. It comes completely around to the like hoops in the front, and then the padlock is what holds it together. Again,
Yeah, and I forget the proper term. There's also the ones that need to be cut off.
I forgot the term too, to be honest, now that you mentioned
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. But it just signifies that the collar 100% really means that person wearing it is a sub.
Yeah, there's also subtle jewelry that has the same significance. They'll often have hoops, or like sometimes it's like a heart, like a hoop on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically subtle coloring or mainstream coloring. And you'll see necklaces like that often.
Angel, may I have permission to explain some of yours? Okay. Thank you. So some of Angel collars that she has specifically, because of her jobs in the past, she has some that are 100% a necklace, but have a certain hoop or some of hers have a heart shape that I bent out because in Angel's terms, it's just too cliche girly, and that doesn't fit Angel's personality, so I would bend and shape them differently.
Yeah.
But 100% they are just everyday necklaces and stuff. But to her, she knew it was her collar. To her,
Yeah,
she knew the significance of it.
There's also people who wear bracelets for the same reasons.
Yep. And there's also bracelets that have that same design where it just looks like an everyday bracelet, but the person wearing it knows that is my collar, that is my, like in this case, like like shackles essentially.
Yeah, and also
to
it
show
signals to
ownership
other
of.
people. It kind of signals to other people, best way I can put it, in the community, similar to a wedding ring might.
So with that, like with Angel and I,
Basically, the taken.
yep. So like with Angel and I, when we go out in public to the store, her collars are on. I'm not gonna lie, and even if I'm with her, her collar is on. And walking with her hand in mine, or like if I'm pushing the cart, her hand or arm goes right around my arm. Not in a sense of, oh, they're so cute together. No. It's I lead, she follows. And for anybody else, like if she goes to the store by herself, because I'm not 100% going out and peopling, because my social skills or my battery, so to speak, is just extremely low. She still wears her collar with the lock that we have to show other people, because it's, again, a very subtle thing to signify to others in the community who know what they're seeing. She's taken. Somebody has claimed ownership. Now, again, this could be even if you go to an event and say you are a sub, you have your collar on that you bought, that you've like purchased, made, or had made for you. And if you have, and I actually brought or have it here for this purpose, may I show your collar? That's right here, please. Thank you, ma'am. Someone's stinky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just got a whiff of someone's ass. Some's fur ass is stanky. So, for
Damn it,
example,
Angel.
this is one of Angel's collars. It was an angel. But
I know,
that-
I was just being an idiot.
But like, say Angel was not taken, like she does not have me. She is either, whether it be relationshiply single or as a sub single. She does not have a master, an owner, a dom, or whatever particularly have you. She would wear this collar with nothing on here. Okay, and what this signifies, walking into like an event, a play, like a play place, whatever they may be considered or called, to where she's open. She is free. She does not have an owner. She does not have a dom. To where anybody walking around, like say if I was a dom looking for a sub, a play partner, whatever have you, I would have my leash. And yes, chat, I have made one. Okay, because I was originally interested. Before I seen Angel and met Angel, I was interested in going to parties or events to find one. I made a leash. And to where, say, by sheer chance, I didn't meet Angel before this. We lived relatively close because, you know, usually the events are to locals or people in this specific area. She was walking around with this. I would take my leash, clip it on there to where she's now mine. To where she would have to listen to what I say, and she has 9 times out of 10 no control over that. To where I would lead her to a more quiet part of the event, and we would talk things through. Get to know each other. Like, I'm not that type of dom to where I'd be like, okay, you're mine, now submit. I don't do that shit. I am not that dom. Can you do me a favor and go check? Because I have a feeling something happened. Anyway, so here's the thing, chat, with that. Okay, I do apologize because it seems that somebody made a mess in a place that he shouldn't have been. But anyway, so with that collar and the leash on that collar, I would take her and sit her down and be like, all right, my name is, what's yours? And get to know her at that point. And ultimately, I would ask her if she would accept.
Someone made a wet ass shit in the litter box.
Okay, I apologize, chat. Anyway, the point is with a collar, it is 100% from a sub, meaning that they are sub. To answer your question after the long wind, I apologize. It is something that I do actually know about because I actually make collars, but it's usually out of paracord. And with Angel specifically, with her skin, there's times where she cannot handle the paracord because it will dig in and rub to the point of where it's not good. Let's just call it what it is. It's not good. That's awesome, Ash. For what? That I make collars? Bro, I make collars, I make leashes, I make quite a bit of things.
With paracord.
With paracord. And that leads to another part of me that we're coming to terms with, that Lily is beautifully guiding me through and going, hey, that's a thing. Did you know that's a thing? And I'm like, that's a thing? And she goes, that's a thing. Without going into details of that thing, because that's not Twitch appropriate. Yeah. But yeah, no, is there any other questions or anything that you guys want to talk about before we wrap up stream for the night?
I'm good. I've learned all I need to know tonight.
It's one of those, okay, time to let this sink in and wait for next week's assignment and next week's topics.
Practically, yeah.
Did
Me
you?
At least.
All I'm gonna ask is, did you learn something new today?
A little bit.
Hey, even a little bit, something. Lily, did you learn something new today?
Probably not, but that's just because hyperfixation.
Okay, that's fair. I actually learned something new today. I learned that one, we have a really great and a variety of a community. And two, people that I thought, and this is where I should have, I'm not trying to assume in a bad way, but think like people that I didn't know that were in the kink community are fully in the kink community, to where it's kind of like Among Us. You know, there's kinksters anywhere and everywhere, and that everybody has that kink side to them. Even if it's small or minuscule, it's still there.
Like an extreme version of Among Us, everyone is sus.
Red is sus. True that. Angel, did you learn anything new today? It's me. I'm Red. Shay is sus.
Oh,
Did you learn anything new?
Not too much.
Me and Shay both have
I saw her vent.
red hair at the moment.
That actually talking about the Amongst Us brought up that song. The whole I saw him vent and
I thought you were gonna say the fucking one thing.
yeah, no, not that one. The one that was more mainstream for a little bit, that was really popular, that everybody was singing, that one. All right, guys,
That's
if
not-
there is no other questions, like Valen was saying, that usually most channels are set to allow like a month old at the very minimum to
so-
raid.
So we have a few more weeks.
So we have a few more weeks, okay. Valen lies, they saw nothing. You guys are awesome. I just want to take this moment to say thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you for learning with us and actually contributing, because y'all, you guys are beautiful. Oops, sorry, baby. You're beautiful beings. You guys are authentically beautiful beings. I see you over there. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. You guys, I cannot stress this enough. I love each and every one of you. I really do. I'm so glad that you're here to support us on this new project that started out as just a way for me to be more like fulfilling my role that I seen being a seizure ambassador for the the Epilepsy Foundation, to evolving into now having this after dark conversation, talking about lifestyle things that I am very passionate about, that I live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that I am also 24/7 in, because it's a part of who I am, as much as I am a Twitch streamer. So, and I appreciate you guys for joining me as well, Lily and Jack and Angel. I appreciate you guys
Thank you
for
everyone
having
who
here.
came out. And I appreciate being a part of this.
It's fun.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So, guys-
definitely been weird. I'm definitely still weirded out by a lot of it, and that's just me coming in new.
And that's okay, because at some
Yeah.
point, each and every person was new.
Yeah.
I know.
And like, for example, me, I had a friend, or well, let's just say not really a friend, I should say more of an acquaintance, who taught me quite a bit, that gave me the sites needed to learn, and said, go forth. That's literally how they said it. Go forth. And hyperfixation, couple years later, here we are. So guys, thank you. I appreciate you guys. And we will see you next week on Tuesday in the morning or afternoon-ish, depending on our mindsets, because like this morning I did start a little bit later because I just could not wake up.
Yeah. Morning and afternoonish, and then evening to nightish.
So guys, make sure you hit, and I'm not trying to sound like YouTube, but make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you guys get notified when we go live next week. Love y'all.
Yeah, and
Appreciate y'all.
Anyone here who's not following, please do.
Yep, please do
Please.
follow, because let's just say if you guys know somebody that might benefit from these talks or learn something from these, have them drop that follow, guys, because the quicker we get affiliated, the quicker you guys can have channel points, the faster you guys can have fun on the stream, ask questions, or do different redemptions here. All right. Love and support you guys as much as you guys love and support us. We appreciate you, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.